back to another episode of PTV. I'm Allie Van Kooten.
And I'm Aaliyah Brunick. This month of September is packed with activities here at PHS.
That includes all the festivities of Homecoming Week that was held earlier this month. We'll start our homecoming recap with a look at the preparations made for this year's parade. Homecoming parade preparations began Friday afternoon with float decorating, including balloons, streamers, and much more.
It's always exciting to have the homecoming parade, but it's also just exciting for the community to recognize the different groups, and these kids are proud of what they put up, and so they get to present it to everybody.
The hard work and dedication that students put into their floats pays off in the end.
I'm excited to see the finished project and how everything turns out.
The parade began with the Pacers, followed by the band. And then came the homecoming candidates. Next up was the football float. The senior class was ready to kiss the plainsmen goodbye. Riding the wave next was the junior class. Next, the sophomores were ready to roast the plainsmen. And last for the class floats, the freshmen were ready to sink Oakley Plainsman's battleship. Next were the club floats, starting off with the KAY Club. Next was the FCCLA float, ready to toast the Plainsmen. And lastly, FFA was ready to roast the Plainsmen. For PTV, this is Allie Van Kooten.
After watching the parade, students and other Panther fans headed to the Panther Stadium for the homecoming pep rally. Here's a recap of that.
A big part of homecoming is the homecoming pep rally put on by students of PHS.
We're practicing our dances and band chants for the pep rally because you want it to be perfect and it to look good.
The pep rally is not all just song and dance. It is important to the majority of students.
Pep rally is important because it shows a lot of spirit and gets the boys pumped up for tonight. So it's going to be a big game and we're just super excited for it.
Dancers have to practice before the pep rally.
Make sure we don't look like idiots and show the Pacers up, basically.
It's important to practice so we don't drop a stunt or do the wrong move in our cheers or dances.
For PTV, this is Luke Hoover.
PHS Homecoming 2022!
The next homecoming tradition was the coronation of this year's king and queen. Hunter Miner shows us how that went.
It was a windy and sunny evening at Panther Stadium as the homecoming coronation took place. This year's candidates included Jesse Blackburn and Trinity Gross. The next two candidates were Luke Hoover and Kayla Kenny. Drayton Hughes and Jade Roach were also introduced as candidates. Following them were candidates Noah Jacobs and Heather Skimper. Devin Johnson and Taryn Sides were the next pair of candidates. The last candidates were Ethan Mailer and Maddie Soliday, although Maddie cannot attend the ceremony due to prior commitments. Kyla Kenny and Jesse Blackburn were chosen as this year's king and queen.
Feels pretty good. I'm really honored that the whole student body voted for me, and I'm really thankful.
For PTV, this is Hunter Miner.
Then it was time for the actual homecoming game, which we'll talk about later during our sports report.
The finale of homecoming week is the dance. Leighton Johnson was there to bring us this report.
To cap off the homecoming festivities, students got their groove on at the Hawaiian Hoko dance.
So last year was Glowco, and the reason we came up with Hawaiian Hoko is because we were trying to see something that would rhyme, and also for our theme nights we always do beach night, and that's a really good turnout, and so we wanted more people to come to homecoming and be able to have something fun to dress in. So we thought Hawaiian Hoko would be super easy and fun, and then we just order a whole bunch of leis off of Amazon so that everyone can participate somehow, and it turned out really good.
From seniors to freshmen, all students who attended enjoyed the event.
My first experience was pretty good, and my favorite part was probably the snack bar. My favorite song was probably the YMCA.
My favorite dance was church clap. My favorite part of the dance was the food.
For PTV, this is Leighton Johnson.
Welcome to the Generation Gap Challenge. I'm Erin Johnson, and this is
Clayton Chestnut.
What year were you born, Clayton?
2006.
Have you ever put film in a camera before?
No.
All right, well, let's see you try. Interesting tactic there. Okay. All right.
What are you talking about?
Okay.
Okay, somewhere with the circle.
Okay, yeah, that's probably a good, okay.
Put this in the camera. I have no clue.
Okay, that's the right idea, actually. Here, okay, here, start with this. And this is gonna open the back.
Hey.
Okay, stretch this film out so it's not so bundled up.
I would never have been able to figure out how to put film in that camera.
It's strange to think about how much has changed throughout the years, but one thing that hasn't changed is the hardship and sorrow caused when someone you know passes away.
It's especially tragic when that loss might have been prevented.
September has been designated as Suicide Prevention Month so that more people might become aware of what resources are available to help prevent these tragedies.
FCCLA was instrumental in bringing Kirk Smalley to Phillipsburg to share his Stand for the Silent presentation. Here's more on that.
I'm here to tell you about what happened to Ty.
Stand for the Silent founder Kirk Smalley came to Phillipsburg to share an important message.
We did a full school presentation here at Phillipsburg to bring awareness to bullying and youth suicide. I think it's really important because we're losing so many young people in America right now to suicide. Suicide is now the second leading cause of death of our young people in America, ages 10 to 24 years old.
That's over 66,000 kids that we've lost. Over 66,000 families ruined.
Smalley's personal experiences have inspired him to change how students treat each other.
I hope I have touched some hearts to want to get the kids in particular involved with helping stop bullying, because it does lead to suicide. I lost my 11-year-old son to it. And the kids are the ones that can stop it. Adults can't do it,
Did y'all know that you can actually bully somebody with something as simple as exclusion?
This presentation was brought to Phillipsburg with the help of the FCCLA organization at PHS.
We saw him last year at our District B conference in Smith Center, and as soon as we got back, we knew that we needed to bring him to Phillipsburg to talk to our school because it was so powerful, and we all loved what he had to say about bullying and suicide and how he was going to try to prevent it.
Brother, I can't do it alone, you know that?
I think it impacted quite a few kids, and that some needed to learn about it more, but a lot took away from it. I just think that I can actually do something about it now, and that it'll help in the long run.
For PTV, this is Nathan Fisher.
The Stand for the Silent presentation wasn't the only event that happened to share methods of suicide prevention.
FCCLA also teamed up with the Phillips County Health Systems and other local groups to bring Dr. Dan Reidenberg of the National Council for Suicide Prevention to present at the Let's Talk About It event. Dayton Huguenin has that report.
We gather to come and talk about it.
To spread awareness about suicide prevention, local organizations held the Let's Talk About It event.
This is the National Suicide Awareness Month and Suicide Prevention Month, and so FCCLA decided to capitalize on that by planning some activities.
Dr. Dan Reidenberg is encouraged that progress is being made, but there is still more to be done.
We have seen some positive changes over time. We've seen a lot more awareness and a lot more recognition that suicide and mental health issues need to be talked about, need to be openly discussed. We've seen a lot more recognition that there needs to be more funding, not only from the federal partners, but from private industry and individuals as well as foundations, helping out to fund the research and the prevention activities that are needed. So there's been some changes. Unfortunately, the numbers haven't really gone in the direction, but that's because although there's been a lot of advances, we have a long way to go.
Both adults and youth shared their experiences as a part of this presentation.
Being on the panel was really nerve-wracking at first. I was scared to get in front of my community and my peers and say those things, but I also knew that it was something that needs to be talked about, so I just toughened up and went up there, and it was a really good experience.
Youth group leaders and students alike found that this presentation was beneficial.
I think the most important thing for them to learn is that people are here. People are going to listen, that it's very important for them to reach out if they need the help. And I think that point was made very well tonight.
I think that this was very beneficial to the community because, one, a lot of youth came to watch, and I think for them to understand what their classmates are going through was very real to them. And I also think that it was very beneficial to have some of our important people in our town talking about their experiences in life as well.
I feel like the presentation was amazing, honestly. That's the one word that I can think of that describes it. He had a lot of facts, which I think was really beneficial because our presentation that we last had about suicide prevention was just kind of his own experience, and he didn't have many facts, which I felt was good for most of the young kids, but I also feel like facts really play a large part in it, so it was good to hear those too.
Thank you all for being here.
For PTV, this is Dayton Huguenin.
What's up? I'm Luke, and I'm an avid energy drinker. Okay. Not off to a great start, folks.
Hi, I'm James, and I'm an avid Dr. Pepper drinker.
Kind of has like a berry taste to it. Tastes like trash though.
Or they all taste so similar. These two taste like almost exactly identical.
Monster? Maybe? I don't know.
I'm gonna go number one is the regular Monster. I'm gonna go number one, regular Monster. Number two, I'm still deciding, but that's a Red Bull. I think that's a Red Bull. Number three is a Red Bull. So one Monster, Red Bull.
That is awful.
That, I've never tasted that one before. That one tastes weird.
Red Bull, maybe? I don't know that one.
Oh man, that one does not taste good at all. That one tastes horrible. I have no idea what that one is.
That's even worse. Never again.
I got a bang out of watching that sleigh segment.
Very clever, Allie. I see what you did there, even though bang wasn't one of the drinks to choose from.
Well, students might have needed a little energy boost as they participated in this year's color run. Here's a look at how that went. To get healthy exercise and to support a good cause, Phillipsburg High School's FCCLA organization and other local groups helped put on this year's color run.
Our main objective of the color run is for students to have some time together with friends, to have a little fun, and to get some exercise outside in the fresh air, and also to think about our project of the year. Each year we do a different project, and this year it was suicide prevention.
PHS sophomore Jaden Allen was the first student to cross the finish line, but the main point of the event was to simply have fun.
My favorite part of the color run would have to be like running through the water and getting slammed with all the color.
As runners finished, Phillips County Health Systems were there to reward participants with a tasty treat.
Popsicles.
For PTV, this is Harley Glenn.
Okay, Josie, what year were you born?
2007.
Do you think you're a pretty trendy person? I feel like you're a pretty trendy person.
I mean, I guess.
Okay, so for the millennials out there, we're going to give a lesson on some things that are super important to our culture right now. So I need you to tell me, do you think Trisha Paytas' baby is actually Queen Elizabeth reincarnated?
Yeah.
Do you know who Trisha Paytas is?
No.
Do you know who Queen Elizabeth is? Or was?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so there's a rumor going around that Trisha Paytas' new baby is Queen Elizabeth reincarnated. What do you think about that? Her name is Malibu Barbie.
Oh, Malibu Barbie. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, it's it sounds like it's going to sell a lot for sure.
Do you know who Dixie D'Amelio is, and how do you feel about her haircut?
Don't know who she is, so I can't tell you about her haircut.
What do you think of Dixie D'Amelio's new haircut?
Okay, I really liked her long hair, but honestly, she's kind of killing it with this little buzz cut thing we got going on. But I just, I'm wondering if she's okay, or if she's pulling a Britney Spears circa 2007. So
yeah. Well, she's bald. She shaved her head bald.
Okay, well, that's nice.
Okay. How would you define slay?
I would define slay as like when you put on your best outfit and you look in the mirror and you're just like, slay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have that all the time. I had that this morning. Peep my shirt. What do you think the word slay means?
Cool.
Okay, all right. I mean, yeah. What about Young Gravy? What are your thoughts on Young Gravy?
Oh, I definitely think he would go for my mom.
Young Gravy. Do you know who Young Gravy is?
I do know who Young
Gravy is. Now, you have a very beautiful wife. I'm just wondering if you are worried that Young Gravy is going to steal your woman.
No, I guess not.
No? You got something Young Gravy doesn't?
Sure.
I'm going to have to cut that out, aren't I?
One place where you can find people of all generations is the Kansas State Fair.
That's right, and some of our PTV staff members competed there in a video competition last week. Adam Mascarenas explains.
Welcome to the Kansas State Fair. I'm Sophia.
The PTV staff packed up their gear and hit the road for a video competition at the Kansas State Fair.
Today I brought 5 students to compete at the Kansas State Fair. It's something that we've done several times before, and I'm hoping we do well this time.
This type of competition gives students the opportunity to not only put their skills to the test, but also to learn more about the state fair.
I think it's important to step out of your comfort zone because the stories that we do for PTV are a lot different than the stories that we had to do here. I am not a country kid at all, and I know nothing about the farm life, and I had to do a story about the birthing center where the animals give birth, and that was really far out of my comfort zone, but Luke Hoover and I got the story done even though we were both not used to doing stories like that.
I think bringing students to the state fair is really important for several reasons. One reason is it's just fun to be at the state fair and experience an important part of what Kansas is all about. Secondly, giving them an opportunity to work hands-on and get a different opportunity for them to use their PTV skills, I think it really benefits them.
Students enjoy the challenge and also enjoy the chance to spend time together as a staff.
So my favorite part was getting closer to the 5 people I came here with and just getting to know them a little bit better, and of course hanging out with them the entire time we were here, and then also getting to see the little piglets run around the racetrack, as that was pretty fun to see who won that.
We had a lot of fun the day before when we could kind of just go around the fair and eat fair food and go on rides and have fun, but it was also fun to compete and to get all of our clips and come back and edit really fast, and it was just overall a really fun experience.
Mrs. Potterbury was pleased with how well her students competed.
Students that I brought today are doing a great job, and I'm really excited to see what our end results will be.
For PTV, this is Adam Mascarenas.
I'm Ethan and I drink a lot of Red Bull. That one tastes like Red Bull.
I know my energy drinks. Maybe I don't.
That one tastes like apple juice.
I think that's a Starburst Bang.
That one tastes like Monster. That one's nasty.
They all taste the same. Oh, no, that one's worse.
That one's lime juice.
I noticed that the PTV staff at the State Fair had some new PTV shirts. When did we get those?
Those were printed just days before the fair by Mrs. Peterson Shea's graphic design class. We appreciate how they were able to help us out with new shirts in just a few days' notice. Michael Vanderveen shows us more about what the graphic design class is doing.
Move over, Gone Logo. There's a new t-shirt shop in town. In fact, it's right here at PHS.
It's a graphic design class where we're going to learn some Adobe software. We're also going to work with some programs that do some basic design for us, such as Canva and Placeit. We're working to learn enough so that we are able to make most of the school apparel. So it's going to be school apparel that's made by the students, which will keep the money within the district and help to grow our class.
Mrs. Peterson Shea's classes have already began to fill orders for different groups at school.
It's been going pretty good. We got your PTV staff shirts done with only one minor mess up, which if you look at all of them you won't even tell. And with the band jackets, we learned something, not to do 2 full presses on them. Only 1 full press and 1 small one.
Learning graphic design and putting that knowledge to use is a valuable skill.
Well, I think it's important because there's like a lot of graphic design stuff everywhere, billboards, people design them, t-shirts.
For PTV, this is Michael Vanderveen.
Although many people are wrapping up the gardening season as September comes to a close, Ms. Sushlin's class continues to have a garden of their own.
Carson Meidel gives us a closer look.
I got a feeling
To learn more about root structures of native plants, Mrs. Suchlin's environmental science class is taking on a new project.
We are planting a native garden. We are taking out the vegetable garden that we have been doing out in the raised beds and putting in a native garden that was given to us by Plant a Prairie Foundation. I think we can learn more from the native garden and the root structures there.
Revamping the old garden into a new one takes planning and preparation that is also a valuable lesson throughout this project.
We planned out how we were gonna work placements and then how far apart they have to be and what kinds.
Ms. Suchlin hopes that this project will give students a better understanding about different types of plants and how they grow.
I'm hoping my class will get a better idea of what some of the native plants are and taking a look at the root infrastructure between the garden plants that we will still have in the tower gardens, and then the native plants outside.
For PTV, this is Carson Meidel.
Okay, do you know what this is?
Tape recorder?
Okay, do you know how to work it?
No.
Okay, well, you're gonna try your best. I want you to put this in here and record yourself talking.
Is there like a button?
Okay, off to a really good start. Yep. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's do some problem solving skills. I'm gonna show you something real quick. Oh. Wait, JK, I don't know how to open it. Fuck you. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. Okay, now what am I supposed to do? Record yourself.
Like, record what?
Yeah, talking.
No.
So you just hit the record and play button at the same time, and then you need to speak into what the mic area is on this thing, which I believe is just right there.
Say something.
Hello.
Okay, stop it. And we're gonna rewind it. And then we're gonna play it.
Hello.
Now it's time for a PTV Sports Update with Dayton and Layton.
Hey Panther fans, it's time for your PTV Sports Update. I'm Layton Johnson.
And I'm Dayton Huguenin. We'll start today's sports report by sharing some accomplishments from our cross-country team.
At Smith Center meet, Ellie Velardis was our top finisher with a third place finish.
And for the men, William Jessup was the top Panther with a 10th place finish.
Then at Stockton, Ellie Velardis placed third again in the girls' race, and Jaden Allen finished first place in the men's race.
And last week, at Concordia, Ellie placed 16th for the girls, and William Jessup placed 14th for the boys.
Now let's talk tennis.
It's a good time to talk tennis because there's a lot of good news to report about how well this year's team has been doing.
That includes the success they had at a recent home tournament. Audrey Bellis fills us in on how that went.
There were many highlights for the varsity tennis team who played at home last week on Tuesday. McKenna Russell played #1 singles and placed first after winning all 3 of her matches.
Today was really good. I got first. I played my first one and it was my hardest one. It was against Scott City and I won in a tie break. So it was very hot and really hard and I ended up pulling out and winning.
Following up on her success was Olivia Soliday, who won first place in #2 singles after winning all 3 of her matches. Jaden Bellis and Isabella Kazee won all 3 of their matches, claiming first place for #1 doubles. #2 doubles Emma Dibble and Gabby Poles played 1-2.
I think we did pretty well today, but we went against some good competition. Just need to get better for next time.
We had a good day today. We knew that Scott City would be a tough team coming in as they had a returning state qualifier, and so I was looking forward to the match with her and McKenna today, and it was a very good match, very closely paired competitors, and McKenna came out on top in tiebreak, so it was a big win for us. And we had some different combinations, and one doubles came out on first, and Olivia's still doing a really good job at 2 singles, so it was a good day. We had a really good day.
For PTV, this is Audrey Bellis.
How about we talk volleyball now?
Yes, let's do that. Our volleyball team is off to a great start, and this year they added a new opponent to their schedule.
That new opponent would be Alma, Nebraska. Our Lady Panthers traveled north to face against the Cardinals, and Hallie Jerby was there to give us a report.
With 6 wins and only 1 loss on the season, the Lady Panthers headed to Alma, Nebraska to face off against the Cardinals in a best-out-of-5 duel. Heather Skemper led the scoring as she put down 16 kills and 3 aces.
Today, I think that there were a lot of highlights. I mean, Heather had some fantastic kills, but the one that I recall is Jenna having a great pass off of the basketball hoop, and we played it over, and that was very aggressive by our part.
Alma put up a good fight, but Phillipsburg was able to win in 3 straight sets.
They were really hustling. They don't let any big drops, so I would say, yeah, they were harder than what we anticipated, but I thought the girls did good.
To get the strong finish and pick up the win, the Lady Panthers had to make some adjustments.
Of course, every team that we play in Nebraska is a little different. Instead of playing 2 out of 3 like we normally are used to, we play 3 out of 5. So we kind of had to get used to that, and they had a very good block on us tonight.
Coach Wickham, who went to high school in Alma, was happy to get the win.
Coming out here with the sweep was always our goal, so yes, I'm happy with how it turned out.
For PTV, this is Hallie Jerby.
Now it's time to talk football.
Yes, we know it was a tough start to the season, and the homecoming game didn't go quite as we'd hoped.
But there were some shining moments, as Aaliyah Brunick explains in her recap of the homecoming football game against Oakley. Take a look.
The Phillipsburg Panthers battled the Oakley Plainsmen for this year's homecoming game. The Panthers have a strong start with their first play from the line of scrimmage as quarterback Jesse Blackburn hands off to Trace Hanchett, who picks up a good chunk of yards. Phillipsburg continues the opening drive, which leads to this quarterback keeper that ends with a touchdown Phillipsburg! Sophomore Jaden Boyle's extra point kick is good to give the Panthers a 7-0 lead. Phillipsburg built on their lead again in the first quarter when Trace Hanchett gets loose for a 59-yard touchdown run, which put the Panthers up 13-0. The Panthers would find the end zone one more time in the first half as Devin Johnson runs it from the 1-yard line for another touchdown Phillipsburg. Boyle's extra point attempt is good, and the Panthers pick up 20 points in the first half. However, Phillipsburg would not see the end zone again throughout the rest of the game, and the Plainsmen slipped by Phillipsburg with a score of 35-20. For PTV, this is Aaliyah Brunick.
The good news is that we did pick up our first win of the season as we beat Ellis 37-14.
We hope to pick up another win tonight as we host Norton. Our good friends at Nextech will be broadcasting that game, so PTV will have the night off this time.
That's all the time we have for our sports update. I'm Dayton.
And I'm Layton. And there ain't anything better than cheering on our teams. Go Panthers.
Before we conclude our show, we have time for one more look at how the energy drink tasting challenge is going. My name's Allie, and I drink a lot of Red Bull. It's like a Bang, maybe.
Monster? Yeah, I think that's a Monster. It's really sweet.
Ooh, that's Red Bull. That's original Red Bull, regular Red Bull. I don't know what that is. I don't know. Bang again?
Not an energy drink.
Oh my God, no! That wraps up this episode of PTV. I'm Allie Van Kooten.
And I'm Aaliyah Brunick.
Stay classy, Phillipsburg High.
I say right foot creep, ooh, walking with that heater. Look around, stay low. Stylish, Glock talk, big t-shirt, Billy. Watch on my wrist, but I want that diamond.
I really like cold.
What do you like about corn?
It's cold. A big ocean nose. It has the juice.
What you got?
Alrighty, see ya.
She's so good. So over now.
Top 10 reasons why Diet Pepsi is better than Diet Coke. Fake news.
Yeah, we fancy like Applebee's on a date night. Got that Bourbon Street steak with the Oreo shake. Get some whipped cream on the top two. 2 straws, 1 check. Nah, 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 no, no, no. Ain't nothing gonna